Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining me. This is going to be a very loose sketch in ink and watercolor. I have Arches 9 by 12 cold pressed paper. I'm going to prop it up on a little washcloth here so I can get a little angle. And I'm going to start off with a mechanical pencil. And this is St. George Street in St. Augustine. So I'm going to frame out a little bit of the area in the center because I kind of want an 8 by 10 size. So when I frame this, which I'm planning on framing it, I'll put it in an 11 by 14 frame and I'm going to float it. So I'll have some videos on that coming up. I'm waiting on supplies to come right now. So I'm with my mechanical pencil, I'm going to just get um, some of the buildings and signs in there. I love this image because you have some really wonderful buildings on angles, and then you have some great signs, a flag, some plants, and some people walking the street. So we're going to put in a few people too. So I'm just going to get in that angle with that vanishing point all the way in the back there, add in a few of the larger features. And this is going to be very loose, so I'm not going to make this perfect. I'm just going to have some fun. And when I go in with watercolor, that is going to be very, very loose as well. So I've kind of found my way into a really nice style, and I've been sketching for less than a year now, and I've been sketching every day, and I've just been trying to figure out a style, a very artistic style. I don't want to have to copy, and that's what I feel like I've been doing for years with still life and oil painting, and then I got into abstract and acrylic with abstract, and I hated that because it was just so messy. And so when I found ink and watercolor, doing what I thought I was starting to do was urban sketching, but they say it's not urban sketching if you're not on site. So unfortunately, I'm never on site. Kind of always doing it off of images, and I'm okay with that for now. I will get out there and do some on-site sketching. But for right now, and I can't really film it for you anyways because I don't have the equipment. So this way I can film working off of a photo and share that with you. So I've got my initial sketch done here, and I'm starting off with the Micron 01. I want a really fine point pen, and I'm just really kind of just dragging the pen across, not lifting it at times, double lining, very, very loose. Almost at one point I'll just do, excuse me, a consistent line, keeping the pen on the paper, keeping it very, very loose. So I'll do this whole initial sketch with the 01, and then I'll go in with some watercolor paint, and I'm going to be using a larger brush. I have a 3/4 inch brush that I received from, I think it was Paul Rubens, and it's a very nice brush. They are, let me see here. Lightwish, that's the name. Lightwish is the brush. So I got a set of Lightwish brushes as a gift to review, so I'll be using some of those today, and I really do love them. They're really, really nice. So just gonna use a very loose paint when we get to it. and then go back over that with ink once that dries. So my paint is going to be very wet when I'm done, so I will set it aside for about 15-20 minutes or more and come back and then finish up. I'm not going to use a blow dryer or anything. I'll just set it aside, and when I come back, it's just fun to see how it dries because I'm going to be using very loose paints that'll mix all together. And you can see I did the people there. They're very nice and loose. I didn't add all the people. I just did a few. Used my own personal judgment of what I wanted to fit in there. And in the back, way in the background there, I just kind of just put in some squares and triangles. Put in some windows. And this is a really fun little Ben's soft pretzel sign with the little guy with his arms holding a pretzel. And I'm just going to put in Ben's. I'm not going to put the soft pretzel wording underneath that. And then this little sign is Mimi's Famous Crepes. Got a little lady sitting there with a frying pan. Just made a little bit of a stick figure there. All right, I'm done with the first ink, and I'm going to remove that washcloth, get some water out. I have this thick 3/4 inch brush here. Comes to a nice point. And I'm going to be using my Mealing Watercolor Paint 52 palette paint set. Spritz that palette down with a little bit of water, activate those paints, and we're going to be using a lot of water. So I'm going to start off with the sky, and I've got a little cobalt blue here. They've got some beautiful blues in this set. I like to just grab a little bit of all the different blues. That one there is an indigo. So I'm going to wet down a couple different large puddles of blues on my palette there. So I'm ready to go. And I've got a little bit of the light turquoise mixed in with the cobalt. So I'm going to use my hand to hold up the paper because I want to guide that water around. And we're going to get some nice drips. And I'm just using that brush and angling it in all different ways. Picked up the darker blue. And I'm going to add some more water and let that drip down. This is so much fun. Add a little bit of the ultramarine blue. And a little bit more turquoise blue. And there's sky blue. Look at all those beautiful blues. So excited. Got some cad yellow mixing up now and some permanent dark yellow. And we're going to just put a little bit of that and let it run into the blue. Grab a little cad orange. Let that run into that streak. Look at that blue going into that yellow. Isn't that gorgeous? I'll pick up a little bit of the lime green and we'll start placing that where the plants are. Got some trees in the background. And we'll just let it flow into the other paints. Little drop of that blue on the palette into the green. I'm going to drop some cad orange right in the center there. Let's get a little pop of color. I'm looking around. Should I add some more? I don't want too much. I'm just trying to keep everything somewhat in the center and maintain some of that white paper. So this is ivory black. A little bit of sky blue. Just want a really, really light grayish blue. And just kind of do a little light color coming down on the side here. Drip that in. I want to be careful because I tend to overwork. I want less is more. I don't want to cover too much. Add a little more blue to that sky. And let that drip into that green. Oh, that's so pretty. Hold up the paper, let it run. So I've been having a lot of fun with doing these paintings, and I've completed around 8, 9, 10 of these, and I've posted them on Instagram. So in the description, I will leave the my name, so you can go on if you'd like to look at these paintings that I've done if you have Instagram. So I'm going to a smaller brush now for some spatters. I'm going to do some blues, some greens, and orange. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry for a good 20-30 minutes. And then I'll come back and add my final ink marks. So I've let it dry, and look how beautiful. So I've got a 3, a 5, and an 8 micron. And I've sped this up a little bit. I slowed down the paint because that was just so beautiful to watch it flow. But I'm going to speed up the ink mark a little bit here. ink marking. So here I've got, like I said, a 3, a 5, and an 8. I'm going to go back and forth between these three, and I'm going to pick and choose on where I want to accent some of these things. So the lettering, just going to do parts of it. Thick and thin. I'm going to make the B, the E, the N, and the S just thick and thin. This is the fun part, because, well, it's all fun. I admit, it's all fun. This is all fun. I just love this. I'm having so much fun, you guys. But this is where you can just really be creative, bring things to life. And you have all the different, you have the thick ink, the thin ink, all those beautiful different marks on top of that beautiful paint. So St. George Street, really quickly, I don't know if I went over this, can't remember, is a famous street in St. Augustine, Florida, and it's very active, and it is full of history. So it's very pedestrian friendly. It's lined with shops, restaurants, and galleries. So what a fun place to go visit. My husband used to have accounts in St. Augustine, and we had a trip scheduled at one time, but our dog got sick and we had to cancel it. So I was so disappointed. But I wasn't doing this type of sketching at the time, so I wouldn't have been able to really partake in urban sketching. So I hope to get there. Unfortunately, he doesn't have those accounts anymore, so we won't be going there for business, but we'll have to make a trip of it. And this would be a great place to sit out and definitely do some urban sketching on site. So I'm going to go over these people a little bit, get them to stand out. Adding some windows. There's our flag. And we'll just do a little crack in the sidewalk with the fine tip. And I love these little whiskey barrel planters. And the one planter that's all the way on the left by the fence there, I made that a whiskey barrel too. It wasn't, but I made it one. So this sign over here, I'm going to use the very fine tip 01, and it says bull and crown, and it has a bull on there. So I'm going to do a real loose sketch of a bull. And the flag has a little design, so I'll just add that in there. I think that's a wine shop for that flag. Coming to the end of the video, and here is my finished sketch. And so I added a few more things. I added some squiggly lines to the plants in the front there and in the back, and then I think the chimney I outlined, but that was about it. Everything else I did pretty much on camera for you, but the photo looks amazing. I love this. This is just, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you give this style a try, because it's really fun to lay that watercolor down and let it flow. And then you come back after it's dry and you can see how it just dries so pretty. It looks so different when it's dry. But so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will leave all the supplies I used in the description below. I'll leave that my Instagram handle, so if you want to go and see my other paintings on Instagram, you're more than welcome. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you find time to sketch. And don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and a thumbs up. So, and a comment. Don't forget to leave a comment if you want, or any questions. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.